Welcome to Africa 360. We go right across the continent for news and views you won't hear anywhere else, with a distinctly African perspective. I'm Lindy Mtongana, standing in for Chris Maruleng this week. For years, South Africa's traditional a cappella group, Ladysmith Black Mambazo, has captivated the world with its distinctive sounds. As one of the most famous all-male ensembles on the planet, the group has sung for presidents and won Grammy Awards, as well as adoration over 6 decades of music making. This week, here on Africa 360, we pay tribute to this multi-award-winning outfit for its phenomenal musical success.
This is Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
Originally founded in the 1960s by Joseph Shabalala, a farm worker turned factory worker, Ladysmith Black Mambazo's epic musical journey has humble beginnings.
And the nominees as well.
Shabalala had a dream of tight vocal harmonies and a message of peace. That dream was formed in the town of Ladysmith in South Africa, and against all odds, it was realized. The group is an all-male band that sings in a vocal style known as Iskhatamia and Mbube. It encompasses all the intricate rhythms and harmonies of South African musical traditions, and of course, the beauty. At first, Ladysmith sang for migrant workers from rural areas.
Takes their name from the township of Ladysmith.
But the group's distinctive sound soon caught the attention of American legend Paul Simon.
Homeless, homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lane.
Ladysmith performed Homeless on his 1986 Graceland album. It was a smash hit that took the world by storm and launched what would prove to be an illustrious international career. Since then, Ladysmith Black Mambazo has toured the world and performed for legends, including Nelson Mandela and Queen Elizabeth II. Their road may have started humbly, but it certainly hasn't ended that way. Just recently, the group added a 4th Grammy to its long list of accolades. That was for the album Live, Singing for Peace Around the World.
No, 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 no. I say no, no, no.
Their latest compilation, Always With Us, means they have more than 50 albums behind them, and it appears nothing will stop them. Although its members may change, the spirit of Ladysmith Black Mambazo remains strong and will likely only grow as a South African and global music legend. Joining me now in studio is Albert and Abednego Mazuboko, some of the last original members of Ladysmith Black Mambazo. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us on this day. To begin with, your career has spanned more than 50 years. It's probably the longest lasting South African band that we know of. What would you say, let's start with you, Albert, what would you say has kept the group going for so long?
I think what it has kept the group this long, it's a dream that our leader, Joseph Shabalala, had, that he wanted to make this music better and polishing it. So after he was struggling to put the voices together and make the music sweeter as he wanted, he had a problem, but he had a dream when he was asleep. He was dreaming of those people who were singing for him. So they taught him how to blend the voices and also to mix the singing with the dancing. So it was something very challenging. So when he came to me in 1969, he came with his brother. I was with my brother and one of my cousins. because he left the group that he had that time. They said his teaching was too difficult. So he explained to me what kind of singing he was looking for. So we said, okay, we are going to make a history. We are going to do this no matter what.
And indeed, you have made history, But having given 50 years of your life to his dream, to the music, surely along the way you've had to make some personal sacrifices. Abednego?
Yes, it comes with some sacrifices. Sometimes when we are away from home, something happens at home. But you have to stick to the music and pursue your dream. And the families sometimes, they don't want us to go away for a long time, but because we are dedicated to this, we have to sacrifice. But it's just for a good cause, because now, here we are, all of these years we're still here.
And that dedication has indeed paid off. You've just come home with your 4th Grammy Award, and this is one of many accolades on the list. What does this latest honor mean for you now, 50 years into this journey?
It means a lot. You know, when you getting the Grammy, the first one and the second one, you said, wow. And the third one, now, the 4th one, we said, wow. And then this is very important because the songs that is in this album that won this Grammy are the people's choice. So that makes us so humble and so happy.
Absolutely. And of course, one of the most popular albums when it comes to the People's Choice may have been Graceland, the album you did with Paul Simon. What impact did that have on you personally and on your career?
Yes, Graceland opened the big gate for us, Ladysmith Black Mambazo. So now we're touring all over the world, Europe, America, Brazil, everywhere. Because before that, we were touring South Africa, all of South Africa. But after that, now we're touring all over the world. The Graceland opened the big gate for us.
The gentleman, Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
There was a time, though, when Graceland courted a bit of controversy. Some people were saying that it was against what the ANC had at the time as a cultural boycott. What did you make of that debate at the time?
I think some people misinterpreted because it was an opportunity for South African music to be heard all over the world and tell the world that what is happening in our country and encourage people to help South Africa to gain his freedom. And then I was happy when we got the message from Lusaka. I remember the time we were in Australia. And then they said, the big officer said, don't stop those people, they are on our side.
Indeed. We'll leave it there for now, but do join us after the break, because when we come back, I'll continue my conversation with Albert and Abednego Mazaboko of South Africa's Grammy Award-winning a cappella group, Ladysmith Black Mambazo, only on Africa 360.
We don't want to stick only Ladysmith Black Mambazo singing our music. We also include the stage play, which tells the Mambazo story.
Welcome back. You're watching Africa 360, and I'm in conversation with Albert Mazaboko and Abednego of South Africa's traditional a cappella group, Ladysmith Black Mambazo. We're talking to them about their music journey and the group's incredible success. My name is Lindy Mtongana, standing in for Chris Maruleng this week. Well, gentlemen, let's continue our conversation. Just before the break, you were saying that ultimately the ANC and other political organizations fighting for freedom in South Africa were very much in support of your music. But one particular fan that you gained along the way was that of Utata Nelson Mandela. Tell me about what it was like to meet with him, engage with him, and eventually accompany him to accept his Nobel Peace Prize in Norway.
I think that was the biggest dream to come true. I think everyone dreamed for that. I remember when we first met him, I'll skip the first part when we saw him went out from jail. We watched him on TV, so overseas. But when we got back home, we got an invitation that we should be on his birthday party. It was July 18, 1990. And then we got, from backstage, as usual, we hit the stage, we sang the first song, the second song, the third song. We saw someone just stood up and walked, towards us. And then so he walked straight to us, and then he joined us, he danced with us. After that, he shook hands with us. First of all, I was amazed that he's so tall, because, And after that, he greeted us, and then he said, your music has been a great inspiration for me. And then we said, wow, he said, keep up the good job. After that, he said, wherever I go, I want you to come with me. We said, wow, that's going to happen. But it happened because he took us to Oslo, to Queen, and on his inauguration also. So we were so blessed.
Now, some might say, and I'll pose this question to you, Abednego, that over the time in which you were the voice of South African music, some might say that your music was never political, but perhaps rather more spiritual. What is your answer to that?
Yeah, it was political in other way because it was a traditional music. So we wanted to keep the tradition, although there were new things and some things coming from other countries, but we stick to it. In that way, it was a political because we stick to our roots. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned how you've traveled a journey with Mandela himself. You were very close to Udada, and now here we are this year celebrating 20 years of freedom. What do you, as a band that is a group that has traveled from late 1960s through to 2014, what is your feeling now that South Africa is celebrating 20 years of freedom?
I think we should celebrate because maybe some people who hasn't experienced the apartheid, how it affects people. As myself, I grew up on the farm. Life was so difficult. Sometimes you wish to kill yourself because you were so, deprived in anything that it was going to make your life better. But now, people, they have all the opportunities. So I think we should celebrate. Myself, I celebrate every day.
Long way, long way, long way, long way, and long walk to freedom. Let's just walk together. Long way, light your long way, long walk to freedom. Long way, long way, long way, long walk to freedom. Long way, long way.
You inspired a nation with your music, but what I'm curious about is what inspires you? What inspires the music?
What is inspired us is the love of the people now, because from the beginning we were inspired by the difficulty that we experienced. We said we should sing through and then compose some song that is going to bring people together. And then I remember the first song that it was inspiring us a lot was a song that we were singing about the warriors, singing about King Shaka. Because when we grew up, we were told King Shaka, he didn't, sit back because he grew up in the royal family. But he knew that he was a king. So he wanted to take up on himself that he is going to achieve what he wanted to achieve. So that was our aim from the beginning. So we said, with our music, we will make people stronger, and then it's going to make ourselves strong. But now, the most inspiration that we got it from our fans, because they said, please sing for us.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, they did. And of course, you have a new album coming out, Always With Us. Tell us about that. I know it's a very special album to be coming out soon.
Yes, it's a special album because there's Joseph's wife there who was singing in that album. She passed away in 2002. Before she passed on, she had to record something. So now we have decided to put the music on top of that and sing those songs to revive them and put new music to them. Now they are very special because that lady loved the music so much.
And it's one of the first times that you're going to include a woman's voice in your music.
Yes, it is the first time. But just to tell you the secret, The music that we sing is music is from this kind of music. Music is from the wedding songs, because when our forefathers, they left their home, went to the mines and factories, when they were missing home, so they were trying to sing the same music, but the music changes because there were no women voices. So now we are going back to the roots when we are singing this one. I'm so excited that we were able to sing this, and we even able to perform these songs on stage, and it's so exciting.
Absolutely. And as you say, that the roots of this music perhaps complicated by what South Africa was at the time when you started singing, men away in the mines and the women at home. And what I'm quite curious to understand is how you experienced those days, how you experienced perhaps the cruelty of apartheid in the spaces where you performed and amongst the men that you performed for.
Yes. In those days, that's why now people think this Tatamia is for the men only, because the men were taken away from their families, so they lived in the hostels, and so they have to sing and then imitate the high voices that the people at home used to sing, the ladies' voices, just to comfort themselves.
Looking forward now, as we've discussed, 20 years of our new democracy, 50 years into your group. Is the music beginning to change? You're no longer singing under apartheid conditions. It's now a new South Africa. Is the music beginning to bring some of that into the story?
The music is more celebrating now. It's still encouraging and inspiring people, but it's more celebrating now. As Ladysmith Black Mambazo now, we don't want to stick only Ladysmith Black Mambazo singing our music. We also include the stage play, which it tells the Mambazo story broadly, so the way that we want people to expand in our music. So we said the stage is set for us, so let's enjoy it.
Good. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. Do join us after the break, because when we come back, we'll be joined by another member of the group. Do stay with us here on Africa 360. Welcome back. You're watching Africa 360. Today we're paying tribute to South Africa's proponents of the so-called Tatamia style of singing, Ladysmith Black Mambazo. The group is celebrating over 50 years of its music this year. It has also recently won its 4th Grammy Award for Best World Album for Live Singing for Peace Around the World. I'm joined by Albert and Abednego Mazoboko, some of the founding members of the group. And also joining us in this segment is Tami Shabalala, one of Joseph Shabalala's sons. Well, let's start with you, Tami. Thanks so much for being with us. To begin with, you're the son of a legend, and that must be, there must be a sense of pressure almost on you. How has it been for you in terms of being a member of this band? What is the legacy or the learnings from your father that you bring into the space?
I have learned a lot from my father since I was a child. So we've been singing with my father, with my brothers, in a group called White Mambazo. My father gave us that name because we were singing the same type of music. So I've been with the group for 20 years now. So I have learned a lot.
You've been with the group for 20 years, which in itself is a very long time, but quite significant in that that is the year that South Africa got its freedom and became a democratic country.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Exactly that. How has that, though, influenced what you bring to the group? I mean, the group is an older generation, you're a younger generation. How do you begin to create your own sort of legacy within the group?
What I bring in the group, it's our energy as a young guy, even though I'm not that young, because now we have been joined by our son, Joseph's grandson, Bawile. We have been joined by that generation now.
And of course, the next chapter of the group's sort of journey now, as you mentioned a little earlier, is this play, Mambazo, the musical. I don't know if you'd like to tell us a little bit more about what viewers, what audiences can expect.
Yes. You know, that it's a great satisfaction for us that we're able to have somebody who's going to write the Mambazo story and then find these young, talented girls and boys. So the play is telling the story of Ladysmith Black Mambazo, the journey from the beginning up until now. So these people, and then we as Ladysmith Black Mambazo, we train them to sing as Ladysmith Black Mambazo because we want Ladysmith Black Mambazo to live as many years as it could be, maybe 200 or 300 years after, because we feel that the music that we have is a very important music and it's a traditional music, undiluted. Bab Shabalala used to say that.
Traditional music now being performed all over the world, still in 2014. Do you think it's the same message that you're sending through to audiences around the world?
Yeah, I think it's the same message because we are speaking about love and forgiving each other because people we used to, they should not forget. They have to get some inspiration now and then. So we're still bringing that music, and now it's mostly about the celebration because we're celebrating that we are free now, can sing everywhere and sing about what we like to sing about. There's no one that can tell us, no, you are not supposed to sing about that one.
Tell us a little bit more on that in terms of the legacy that you want to leave behind, whereas this younger generation takes the group forward. What is it that you hope you're remembered for?
Yeah, we like to be remembered as the group that kept the tradition. And we want the young people to learn this music. That's why we're trying to build a school called Ladysmith Black Mambazo Music Academy, so that now the people can go to school and learn the music. Because some other people who are not staying with us, because we just learn the music from Joseph at home. But now the people, they are not coming to meet Mambazo. But if you like the music, you can go to school and learn the music. So we want to leave that as our legacy, and the people can remember Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
Absolutely. Let's go back to you, Tammy. As we mentioned, we're celebrating 20 years of freedom this month in South Africa. What do you think that Ladysmith Black Mambazo will bring to this country in the 20 years to come?
Ladysmith Black Mambazo will carry on passing the message of peace, because that is what Ladysmith Black Mambazo is about. We are singing about peace, love, hope, and all that.
Do you think that message, do you think the relevance of that message is more important now, perhaps, than it ever has been before?
Always, especially love. People must love each other all the time.
And overall, do you think that the South African music industry today is an environment that is supportive of artists, of traditional music, of taking this music all over the world?
Yes, I think so, because this music now, even at school, they sing this type of music, Skatamia, and making competitions, and they are singing very well. And I hope they take this more up to the outside the world, and then they make it more than we did. And there will be some groups, maybe, who will come after Ladysmith Black Mambazo, because as we sing, people learn from us. But as my brother said, we have to take time and persevere and rehearse and give yourself in that thing that you are doing and have a passion for something that you are doing.
Absolutely. Well, that is a lesson I'm sure many will take with them from you. Thank you so much. That does bring us to the end of yet another edition of Africa 360. You can join the debate by liking our Facebook page or tweet us your views at Africa360_ENCA. You can also send us an email at africa360@enca.com. So until next time, when we'll bring you Africa as you've never seen it before, take care. But to sing us out, here is Ladysmith Black Mambazo performing their hit, Homeless, right here in the Africa 360 studios.
Silale maweni, silale maweni, silale maweni, we baba silale maweni, we baba silale maweni, silale maweni, silale maweni, silale maweni. we baba silale maweni, we baba silale maweni. Sing. Homeless, homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. And we are homeless, we are homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. And we are homeless, we are homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. And we are homeless, 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 bumbo, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. Kizioya, 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 me, Kizioya, 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 me, Kizioya, 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 me, Kizioya.